Baja Mexico, a place that's been on my bucket list for as long as I can remember. And honestly, why wouldn't it be? This 800-mile long, 200-mile wide peninsula has all of my favorite landscapes packed into one place. Beautiful beaches, towering mountains, and vast deserts. But Baja is more than just scenery. There's something here that can't really be captured on camera. A feeling, a rhythm of life. It's slower, simpler, and somehow just happier. It's a way of living that you have to experience to truly understand. Unfortunately, as the saying goes, all good things must come to an end, and my time here in Baja is almost up. This is my final send-off, my last hurrah, el último hurrah. That is until I can come back, because don't you worry, I will be back to Baja Mexico. I promise.
Golly, look at that hair, buddy. That's that ocean head right there.
After spending the day on the beach, it was time to hit the town. First stop, some tacos at this backyard restaurant. Second stop, my favorite spot in Los Barriles, where Joe showed me tiki love as soon as I walked in the door. What do we got, Joe? Tiki love?
Tiki love.
Tiki love.
Chill.
Yeah, don't mind if I do. From there, it was off to the Cactus Bar to meet mi amigos and mi amigas. These people are really salt-of-the-earth people, man. They really took me in as family and showed me a really good time while I was in Los Barriles. One thing to know about Baja, there's going to be a lot of singing.
No me importa a mí nada cuando te levantes y pienses lo que dije ayer.
I have to take this time to give a special shout out to mi amiga Vero. She is the first person that I met here in Los Barriles and introduced me to everyone, and she's just an awesome person. Gracias por su hospitalidad. I'm a firm believer that you haven't had enough fun until you sleep in the bar parking lot. That's just me, though. All right, so after looking for a nice spot to go grab a bite to eat, everything's busy. Well, there's only one spot that's really open, and it's lunchtime. So luckily, I was able to find this spot. Hopefully, we've hit a home run here. I'm batting 1,000. I've been hitting nothing but home runs since I got to Los Barriles, so we'll see. They sell beer pong at the convenience store. It appears that they're having some sort of like a art festival or something. Check that thing out. It appears they're having some sort of like art festival type thing here in Los Barriles, so let's see what we can get into. This is a hat I can get down with, right? After checking out the art market, I figured I'd go relax at the beach for a little bit. The wind is really kicking today, which is a reason that you see all these kite surfers out here. Kite surfing is a huge pastime activity in Baja. The dogs around here really are a trip, man. They're everywhere, but they just casually kind of hang around. Like this guy just came up, did a little bit of sniffing, pawed at the ground just a minute, and then just decided he was going to lay right there and enjoy the view. 𝐵𝐼𝐵𝐺𝐵 told me that her favorite spot to get ceviche was this little roadside stand, so I decided to stop by and give it a shot, and I was met with not only some of the best ceviche, but also, you know it, more singing.
Que lo va ganando para allá va a llover.
Ni una copa.
Más de 5, el 5 bueno. Sí, nada más.
Pero ni una copa.
After a quick lunch, I headed back to the beach where I happened to run into mi amigos. The Flamingo, Gringo, and Amigos. And Tweaky. Us Mexicans don't know how to drive on beach. The fastest way to get them out, rather than having to dig, is going to be just to use the Maxtrax rope.
That happens when you listen to the men.
Super simple rigging, just soft shackle with the static rope, and just like a gentle tug is all she's going to need. Next stop, Fiesta on La Playa.
Then I set my sights on Monday, and I can't get the peace. Last thing I remember, I was running for the door.
All right, Ali, what is this?
This is a 𝐿𝐼𝐿. It's originally a Spanish drink, but we drink it a lot in Mexico. It's liquor, 43 liquor and just espresso coffee.
43 liquors and espresso coffee.
That's it.
Salud.
Salud.
Next stop, karaoke, my favorite. It turns out I don't know the words to Tennessee Whiskey, and that is the only country song that they know, so didn't work out. Maybe next time. I don't know what they're singing, but they're singing great. Meanwhile, meet Esteban. Esteban looks just like Steve Aoki. Guys, leave a comment down below. Does he look like Steve Aoki or no? Pedro! Esa Brenda! Good morning, what's happening? It's muy windy here on the beach this morning. Woke up in a new spot this morning. The good news is I do remember coming here. I met some folks last night that said that they were going to be partying on La Playa. Well, La Playa is the beach, and you can see the beaches all over, man. Long story short, I never found them on the La Playa. But it's okay, because it was probably like 4 o'clock in the morning, and it was time to go to bed. At any rate, I'm getting all my shit together this morning here, and then I'm starting to make the trek back up north. I've got 8 days before I have to be in LAX. Mi hermosa, mi handler, la jefa, is flying into LAX, and then we're going up to Sacramento to go ride around in a truck camper for a little while, which is good because we won't both fit in the back of Apple here. At any rate, it's kind of sad that I have to leave Los Barriles. This has been my home for like 2 weeks now, and man, I just haven't found it in me to leave because it's so nice. At any rate, head north. So let's roll. All right, stopped at the Repsol, which is the fuel station. Got some muy litros gasolina regular. Gas has been the #1 expense this entire time. It was $52 US to fill up from a half a tank, and I've filled up from a half a tank each time that I've gotten to a half a tank, and each time it's cost $50 to $60. So mucho expensive. Anyway, heading towards La Ventana today. La Ventana is probably an hour and a half, 2 hours away. It's 12:15 right now, so not too bad of a drive. I aired up too. I've been at like 22 PSI for the past 2 weeks staying around Los Barriles. So I aired up to 35-ish, which will turn into probably 37 to 40 once I get down the road. But yeah, current situation. Did not have any coffee this morning, so I settled for a Mexican Coca-Cola, which, if you guys don't know, tastes muy bien. Mucho, listen, how would you say that? Mucho. It's more good. It's better than the ones in America. So yeah, cheers. Also, take this time to clean out the truck. Jesus Christ, what are you, amateur? Oh, shit. La Ventana.
When this day is done,
You know, I've never wanted to kite surf. Until now. This actually looks like a lot of fun. So yeah, made it to La Ventana. Actually, I guess just north of La Ventana, technically. But at any rate, I'm outside of La Ventana. Just had some bomb, I mean, just probably the best that I've had so far. Fish and shrimp tacos at Baja Bites there in La Ventana. And now I'm just kind of hanging out by the beach. It's, I want to say like 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm trying to decide if I want to camp here and then maybe head to La Paz either tomorrow or the next day, or if I just want to go ahead and go towards La Paz now. Kite down, kite down. I'm not in a huge rush to get anywhere in particular. I've got like 8 days to be in LAX. I would like to have about 2 days though prior to picking Christy up in order to just kind of reset, get all my shit together, if I will. But yeah, so technically I've got what, 5-6 days to get over if I take those 2 rest days. But I have to go back to Yuma because if you remember, I buried some treasure there in Yuma, so I will need to go back to Yuma, unfortunately, and rather than, you know, going straight up to LAX. So yeah, current situation, beach bumming it out, you know. For tonight's dinner, I'm cutting up these peppers and onions, and I think I'm gonna try my hand at making some mashed potato. Oh, you know what? I don't have a masher. I've got a fork, but no masher. That would be a hell of a job trying to mash up potato with fork. It's not impossible, but I don't think I want to take on that task. So instead, I think I'm just gonna cut up the potato and have potatoes and chicken. The more and more I have to deal with the wind, the more and more I want to make the switch to induction. And the wind's not a new thing. I've had to deal with it before, but prior, whenever I was able to move the stove around, I would just move it into a spot that wasn't as windy. Well, now the stove is affixed, right? So it's, you know, largely dependent on how I park is how I'm gonna use the stove. And unfortunately, how I'm parked right now, the wind is coming directly at it. And it seems that that has been a very common problem, especially here of late. I gotta do something about this wind situation. It's taking forever to cook the coffee, and the time doesn't really as much matter as it does just the waste of propane. So what I'm gonna do is for the coffee, I'm gonna get one of these electric kettles, and then for cooking everything else, I may actually get a single burner induction and just keep it under the bed. Having full-time power now, I'm able to do that. I wasn't able to do it before, but now I've got a 100 amp hour battery and a 2000 watt inverter. At any rate though, even my little makeshift block here is not working. The little electric tea kettle things though, those things actually work really, really good and really, really fast. So I like those a lot. The only reason I have not bought one is because most of the ones that I've used and I've found they're like silicone, and I don't feel completely comfortable heating up water in silicone. I know that it's not going to melt or anything like that. It's more so what's being leached from the silicone whenever you do that. And over the course of time, I don't know. I might be being unrealistic, but that's just me. So I've been trying to find one that's stainless steel, but yet also big enough for the 3 cups of coffee, which is what I usually make in that. So I've made friends with some folks that are heavy into kite surfing, and actually came up here to the kite surf school. And now they're all actually getting ready to put in, and they're gonna go down all the way down here to Ventana, where the plan is I'm gonna meet up with them, and then we're gonna grab some drinks and stuff at the bar before shuttling them back up. So yeah, pretty cool. Luckily I made it to where I needed to go in this Ford without it breaking down on me. Success.
I'm Adrian, and I also travel quite a lot. Yeah, this week I'm here. Next week I'm in BC. The week after that I'm in DC. The week after that I'm in the Netherlands. The week after that I'm in Bulgaria, and then I'm in Manchester for seeing some friends in the UK. And then actually we've rented a boat in Croatia. And we're gonna, 40 of us are going to cruise the Croatian coast.
That's crazy. So we were just talking, and Adrian was talking about he doesn't travel full time, but he does travel full time. What he does, he's like, I have home bases, but I've got 4. Now your 4 home bases, Adrian, are scattered all over the world.
That's correct. Yeah. There's one in San Francisco, Bernal Heights, one in actually in Leiden, Netherlands, one in the mountains of Bulgaria on the border with Greece, and one in the Caribbean. Yeah, that's kind of my lot.
But he doesn't travel full time. He just bounces all around the world in between those 4 plots.
I get invited to a lot of things, which is very nice.
Yeah,
and I just say yes.
And now you've come down to Baja to do some kite surfing.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, I always spend October in Brazil. I kite the coast of Brazil every October.
Oh, I've heard
no big deal.
So amazing.
Yeah. We travel 600 kilometers with 8 guys and girls, and
wow.
And 4 guides, and they take our stuff town to town to town. So we
That's
traveled.
amazing.
Yeah, last October we traveled. Yeah, like 600 miles of the coast.
That's amazing, man.
Yeah. Anyway,
That's your story.
that's my story.
I love it. Next morning, I grabbed a quick breakfast and I headed north towards La Paz. Scenery is certainly different today than it has been. I decided to check back into this little campsite outside of La Paz, primarily because it's time for a shower. It's been well over 2 weeks since your boys had a shower. Also, I needed to get some laundry done. This place has a laundromat, it's got showers, it's got bathrooms, it's also got a pool and a hot tub. And for $20 a night to get all that good stuff, I mean, you really can't beat it. Unfortunately, the laundry situation is a little chaotic, to say the least. Everybody just kind of left their stuff inside the washers and dryers. They've been tied up for hours and hours on end. So I ended up having to hand wash my laundry, which that's the first time I've ever done that. It wasn't terrible. I was able to stick everything out and line dry for the most part. When my shit started blowing off the lines, I actually put it into a dryer, but then somebody came along and took them out of the dryer. So yeah, impossible to get any laundry done here. At any rate, though, it is a pretty cool spot to stay, and I'm in La Paz. I'm kind of ready to get back over across into the US. There's a couple things that I need to do. I need to do the brakes on Apple here. Also, I need to kind of get my shit together before going and picking Christy up in LA. From there, we're going up to Sacramento to 4-wheel pop-up campers to actually ride around in one of their trucks for a week trip. And the reason that we're doing that is, if you guys have been following along for any length of time, you know that Christy traveled with me from 2020 till about 2021 in the camper. That camper has since burned down. It actually caught on fire last year. At any rate, she traveled with me full-time in the camper, and then after about a year of doing so, she kind of got tired of it, decided she didn't want to. That's when I hopped into the 4Runner, started traveling by myself. Luckily, while the camper was sitting in storage, it caught on fire. Nobody was in it, so I say luckily it caught on fire. It was the best worst thing that it could have ever happened to the camper. The camper was complete garbage, which is the reason that it caught on fire in the first place. Ultimately, they said that the cause of the fire was a faulty slide controller. It was either faulty because it was wired wrong from the factory, which I don't doubt at all, or it was faulty because it got somehow or another mangled by a rodent, which also is an extreme possibility. We just recently purchased a 2007 Toyota Tundra 5.7 4x4 single cab short bed pickup truck, and we think that putting a pop-up camper or some sort of a truck camper on there would be a perfect setup. I reached out to my friends over at 4-wheel pop-up camper. I want to make sure that she likes the idea of the pop-up camper before we go further down the road of getting one put onto the Tundra. We've already got the Tundra. The Tundra is an addition to the fleet that ain't going nowhere. We also recently purchased a 2006 Toyota 4Runner, so a 4th gen 4Runner with the V8. That ain't going nowhere either. So the idea behind that was we have a 4Runner out west, which is Apple, my truck. We'll have a 4Runner out east, which is silver, with the silver 4th gen 4Runner. And then we will travel around in each other's vehicles for the most part. But say we're out west, and rather than driving all the way back out west, we'll just fly back out west and then hop in the other 4Runner if we need to. That's kind of the loose idea. But again, just like with anything else, we'll kind of figure it out as we go. The main thing is I want to make sure that she is happy with a pop-up camper or a truck bed camper of sorts before we take the plunge and get one for the back of Big Red. So that's what we're doing. We're going to be going on a trip for about a week in a 4-wheel pop-up camper. We're going to be starting in Sacramento, and we're either going to head out towards Las Vegas or head out towards Death Valley. We haven't quite figured that out yet. I have 6 days to get to LAX. It's going to take roughly 3 days to cross the border. I have to first stop in Yuma, get the buried treasure that I buried, if you remember, at the very beginning of this trip. And then from there, I got to go out to LAX, pick Christy up, and then from LAX go up to Sacramento and pick up the 4-wheel camper. So we're going to be busy. My plan is tomorrow to leave here La Paz and then head up towards the Bay of Conception. And then from there, I plan on heading up towards San Felipe, or just south of San Felipe. I'll camp out there, wake up first thing the next morning, and then go on up over the border. But yeah, while most of this trip has been a lot of just kind of hanging around and chilling, now it's all happening real fast and there's a lot of busyness. I do, however, know that I wanted to come back to La Paz and I wanted to taste the best pizza in the world, in my opinion, which is at 𝐬𝐵 Pizza downtown La Paz. So I'm going to do that. Now, any overland adventure is going to require a little bit of preparation. However, going down to Mexico is going to require a little bit more preparation than what you might be used to. First and foremost, you're going to want to make sure that you have all of your documentation together. This means a valid driver's license and, yes, your passport. Now, I know you can talk to 100 different people. 50 of them will tell you that you don't need your passport. 50 of them will tell you that you do need your passport. Just go ahead and get your passport. Plus, once you go over one international border, you're going to be itching to see another one. I promise you. The next thing you're going to need to get is your Mexican FMN. This is essentially a visa that allows American and Canadian citizens to travel throughout Mexico. You can get it right at the Mexican border, and it's about $45. And last but certainly not least, if you're taking your vehicle down to Mexico, you're going to need Mexican insurance. And when it comes to Mexican insurance, there is no better company, in my opinion, than Baja Bound Insurance. Baja Bound has been providing Mexican insurance for over 30 years, and they are the #1 trusted name whenever it comes to Mexican insurance. It's super easy to get set up. I went online, I answered a few questions about Apple here, told them that it was worth around $30,000, and they provided me a quote that was actually cheaper than my current US insurance. They've got really flexible coverage options. You can get anything from 1 day to 3 months to 6 months, all the way up to a year. And aside from being fast, easy to set up, and extremely reliable, they have a 24/7 assistance hotline that can help you out with anything from roadside assistance, legal issues, to filing a claim. Now, all claims are settled in US dollars, and the repairs can be made anywhere in US, Mexico, or Canada. So if you're planning a trip to Mexico and you're planning on taking your vehicle, make sure that you check out Baja Bound Insurance. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I think this is the #1 pizza I've ever had. Maybe the only reason, that it maybe would not qualify for such, is because it's not traditional, right? It's a sweet chili pork pizza, but it is absolutely phenomenal. The crust is absolutely perfect. They give you a plethora of different toppings for it: crushed red peppers, pepperoncinis, hot chili oil, and some hot honey. And then when they bring it out to the table, they drizzle some sweet chili sauce over it. But the hot honey, that's where it's at. Basically the whole time I'm just drizzling the hot honey over the top of it. And it is spicy, but it's so flavorful that you overlook the spice for a little while. I'd say the only improvement that could be had is they could cook it just a little bit more well done in the center, so it's not as floppy. But other than that, perfect. Good news is after all that spice, you can cool it down with some nice chocolate mousse. It comes with this nice, softly cooked waffle and little hint of salt flakes up on the top of it. Absolutely perfect. This takes the sting from the hot honey right out your mouth. Phenomenal. My Day Pizza, La Paz, Baja, Mexico. Gotta try it.
Take a run, take it slow.
Man, let me tell you, the one thing that I've learned down here in Mexico is running tarjetas is a real challenge. Tarjeta being credit cards. I have been double charged no less than 5 times since I've been down here in Mexico. Now, sometimes I think that it's like a service issue. In other words, they don't have service, or for whatever reason, it's a connection issue or something like that. But then the other times, I'm not real sure why. Overlooking today's expenditures, I noticed that I was double charged for gas. Tonight's double charge, though, is going to be a little bit tougher to dispute because it's 2 separate amounts, which normally it's the same amount. It's really easy to figure out, and one of them just kind of falls off. But this one might be a little bit harder. So fingers crossed, it's $48. Fingers crossed I get the $48 back. I like to think that there's no ill intent involved, but in tonight's occasion, there might be some ill intent. I really hope there's not. I just have to wait and see. I have to wait for it to stop pending before I can make any moves on my bank side of things. And, you know, one would say, hey, just carry cash with you. Well, I do. I carry American cash with me stashed away in the truck. I carry some cash in my pocket, and then I also carry some pesos. But $48, man, that's like 800 pesos. That's a lot of cash to be carrying around. Overall, I've spent well over $1,000 US in gas just traveling around. So being able to do that on a card is a whole lot easier than trying to carry that kind of cash with you, because it's inherently dangerous to carry that kind of cash with you, as I'm sure everybody's aware. So yeah, fingers crossed I get the $48 back, but we'll just have to wait and see. Just know that down in Mexico, running tarjeta or credit card is a bit of a challenge sometimes. Dude, I slept muy bien last night. Yeah, very good. It is probably about 10 o'clock here. I've got to check out by 11. I'm getting all my shit together. Got my one last shower. I've taken 3 showers since I got to this spot. As you can imagine, they were much needed. I'm going to pack up all my stuff, though, and then I'm going to head to the little coffee shop here on the corner. And then from there, I'm going to make my way north to the Bay of Conception. 6-hour drive today up to the Bay of Conception. Stay either a day or 2 there, and then probably another 6 or 7 hour drive up to just south of San Felipe, stay a night there, and then travel up and cross over. Almost forgot, I'm gonna need some water too. Glad I remembered that here. I'll stop at the Walmart in La Paz. I think that they've got a water fill-up station, like a filtered water fill-up station there, so I'll get some water there and maybe get a little bit more provisions too as far as food goes, because once I get up kind of in the middle between here and San Felipe, there's not really a whole lot going on. Man, I tell you what, the food down here in Mexico is absolutely unmatched. Just look at this breakfast sandwich. I was just thinking about how the fact that I'm not really in a rush, so might as well take some back ways, you know what I mean? Like, why not? The contrast of the mountains, the desert, and then the ocean, to me, is just crazy. It's so mind-blowing just because you're just not used to it, man. You never see that, you know, unless you're here. A common question is gonna be, what pressure was I running? And the answer to that is I'm letting them down to 25 here. The reason is because I'm gonna be booking it pretty good on a lot of this stuff. It's not gonna be a lot of slow technical stuff. That's still good enough to give me a nice softer ride, not real soft. It's gonna give me enough grip that I need, and it's gonna avoid any pinch flats. I've got skinny tires, and I've already pinch flat one of them at 17 PSI. So I'm thinking 25 will help me avoid any kind of pinch flats. That theory comes from hanging around folks that race King of the Hammers and Ultra 4 cars. Those guys run about 27 at King of the Hammers, and the reason is to avoid those pinch flats. That's the main thing. And they're booking it across, you know, rocks, sand, all this same exact stuff, and they're also doing some real technical rock crawling still. Now, granted, they are a lot heavier motor and a lot bigger motor, a lot more motor, and also often a lot bigger tires. But still, I think 25 is going to be the ticket here. In places like Silverton Telluride, where it's real rocky and not fast, I usually end up running somewhere around 17 to 20. sorts of mountains and cool little like oasis type looking things. There'll be, you know, just bright green areas off in the desert where there'll be water. Subsequently, though, there's also livestock, cows, goats, and donkeys, and shit like that, hanging out at the water. So I'll let them have that water. I'm not gonna go swimming with them, you know. Here's some wild horses right here. That's pretty cool. I'm guessing they're wild. I don't know. No, they're not. They got shit around their neck. That one does anyway. Yeah. Some horses. Like I said, there's a bunch of livestock out here. That's really the biggest thing that you have to watch out for while you're driving. There is a bypass, but this is the first piece of technical obstacle I've seen since I got to Mexico, so of course I'm going to take it. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but there's definitely something loose, either on the roof or in the back. I'm leaning more towards on the roof. About to pull over here and check it out as soon as I get a little spot that I can. Oh no, actually what it is the bracket on the backbone system broke. Damn. Ouch. All right, so what I'm gonna do to fix that is I've got to get a big washer, and I'll put a big washer up underneath there. But I'm gonna go ahead and keep on heading. There's nothing really I can do about it right this second. I mean, I can go ahead and start looking for a washer and try to fix it right here on the side of the road, but I need gas and I'm trying to get to camp before dark, so I'm gonna keep it moving and I'll worry about it tomorrow. Well, I made it to the little city, and I just finally got a little bit of service on the phone and was able to look to see how far where I wanted to go is. It's roughly about 3.5 hours, so I'm not gonna go there today. It's 6 o'clock right now. It'll be clear on into dark before I get there. I don't want to arrive at dark because I'm not familiar with the spot. So I just saw a place, smelt a place, and saw a place here on the main strip that smelled really good. So I'm gonna go check and see what it's looking like for tacos over on that joint there. That's the current situation. I did find a little spot here kind of off into a field, and I'm just gonna kick it here for tonight. It's 7:30 right now. I'm gonna wake up first thing in the morning and start making my way up north to the Bay of Conception. Hopefully this will be a good spot to stay. It's kind of off a little road. It's out in some farmland. I didn't pass any gates. I didn't cross any fences or anything like that. I'm just gonna kick it here for tonight and leave no trace, you know what I mean? There are tracks where people have been driving side-by-sides and shit like that all over the place. So that's the current situation. I'll catch you guys mañana. Good morning. It is eerie and foggy outside, which is probably good because this little spot that I camped at is a little suspect. And yeah, being that it's foggy, they can't see me. I don't think. I hope not. Anyway, I'm fixing to get up, get my shit together, and get out of here so that way I don't cause any kind of problems. You know what I mean? So yeah, as you can see, I'm pulling up to the road now. There are no gates or anything like that. It just kind of drops down into the road here. Pretty weird, right? But yeah. Appreciate you guys letting me hang out.
Informaciones de la audiencia de luego de la polémica que se armó por el cambio de nombre de
What an awesome little spot, man. Cafe La 𝐿𝐻𝐻𝐻 or 𝐿𝐻𝐻𝐻, or I don't know the pronunciation. At any rate, it's a cool little cafe here in this little city that I also don't know the pronunciation of. 𝐶𝐶𝐾 Constitution, I believe. I'm not real sure. At any rate, this city is not, there's no real reason for anybody to come here particularly for the most part. You've got Magdalena Bay, which is about 40 miles to the west of this little city. But for the most part, probably just going to be passing through here. There's not really any reason to stop. So it's not a touristy location. So that's pretty cool in a sense that you really get an idea of the kind of local flavor. And that little cafe is no exception, man. I met Julio. Julio is the owner of the place. Him and his team took great care of me. I highly recommend that if anybody's passing through Ciudad Constitution or whatever, if you find yourself passing through here, stop by for some coffee. Tell him Sir William sent you. Hopefully he'll remember me. But yeah, you know, we left and he said, anytime you come back, you got friends here. And that's just a testament to how everybody in Baja has been since I've been here. I mean, I love this country, man. It's just, it's remarkable. A spot. It is still in the Bay of Conception. It's a little bit windy is my only problem, but right where I'm at, I've got a little bit of what I think to be usable LTE service, so should be good. All right, so I just checked in my bag of shit. It turns out I do not have any washers that are going to work for fixing the rack, so that's gonna have to wait until I get stateside. Well, I have laid around being lazy enough for long enough. I guess I'll get my ass up and make me something to eat. Tonight, I know this is gonna be a surprise, but tonight I'm making chicken and potatoes. I feel like that's all I've eaten on this trip. And I promise you that normally I cook far more than just chicken and potatoes. But the fact of the matter is one, I've been eating out a lot here in Baja because I want to try the local flavor. And two, it's kind of hard to go grocery shopping. I've been kind of in not really a funk, but a cooker's block, if you will. So yeah, chicken and potatoes is just kind of all that I've done. And by the way, I was just talking to a friend today and I made mention of something that I've noticed while here in Baja. All the food that I've eaten has been real food, which I like. And another thing is it hasn't upset my stomach. You know, I've stopped at restaurants on the side of the road that, you know, look like they haven't cleaned their cutting board in quite some time. Nearly every restaurant that I've stopped at with a functioning restroom, some don't have them, but any of them that I've stopped at with a functioning restroom or a sink don't even have hot water. And yet and still, knock on wood, my stomach has handled the local cuisine phenomenally well. And I attribute that to the fact that they don't have bullshit in the food here. Step up your game, America. Getting ahead of that pesky ass wind this time. The wind's coming from the south over there, so moving the truck this way, I'm blocked from the wind whenever I pull out the stove. That's what I like to call using my noggin. Check this out. One of the best things that past me has ever done for future me. I deboned this thigh. Phenomenal. Also, I pre-packaged the potatoes, onions, and peppers. I mean, come on. That's good stuff. By the way, I was doing some math today. Do you guys know that I've been putting out YouTube videos now for 8 years? And for those of you who've been sticking around watching all my videos, just want to tell you something. Thank you from the bottom of my starch. Now, real talk, you guys, I do appreciate each and every one of you guys. Some of you guys are new, and for the new guys, welcome. I really do appreciate you. And some of you guys have been hanging around like a hair on a biscuit since I was running around an Apple on an inflatable pool float. So I really appreciate each and every one of you. If you haven't already, make sure that you like, subscribe, do all the bells, the notifications. Also go down into the comments and leave some comments, because I do try to get it back to everybody in the comments section. There we go, dinner for tonight. Potato, woo, damn, that thing's hot. Metal plate on a hot metal pan. Note to self, that'll get hot. Yeah, potato bowl with some chicken, Valentina drizzled over the top. Yes, sir. And a side of Modelo, cheers. I mean, does it get any better than that? Yeah, f this. Let's go to Wisconsin. Man, I'm just sitting here thinking and drinking, and man, you know how depressed I'm gonna be whenever I get back stateside? Good morning, man. What a beautiful sunrise. When the wind died down, the waves died down, and then the bay here became almost silent, which made for a really nice night's sleep. So yeah, I slept great. So you guys see all these little sticks and everything all over the ground here? I picked one up just kind of looking at it. Check this out. Oh, maybe it'll focus. Hopefully it will. Let's see. It's like sponge on the inside. Isn't that weird? Figured I'd share. I thought that was pretty wild. All right, well, I got a little bit of that old jitter juice in me. Now it's time to go. I got about a 7 or 8 hour drive, which, you know, can turn into a 10-hour drive if you let it get away from you. So let's roll. All right, well, I made it to a spot to camp. It's not the spot that I originally was gonna camp at. The spot that I was originally gonna camp at, somehow or another, has about like 4 people staying on it, but no vehicles, and there's nothing around, so I don't know how they got there. Also, they're staying in kind of a, like an old abandoned camper that's sitting there on the beach, so I don't know. I didn't I didn't want to stick around and find out if they were or weren't sketchy. Where I'm at right now is pretty good, but it is super windy still here in this spot too. I've got my foot propping open the door here, and whenever the gusts come, it takes everything I have to keep the door open. It's pretty wild. I've got about a 4-hour drive tomorrow. Ideally, I'll get up right at around 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning, which is kind of where I've been getting up, and then I'll cross over sometime around 10 or 11. Now this dude's plotting on me. He's like, "What's up, man? You got some fish? What's up? What's up, dog?" Eat these fucking flies, man. Current situation, I'm hiding from these flies. Look at them all, man. Golly. That's crazy. Well, I was hoping that the flies went home so that way I could cook dinner in peace. And unfortunately, they have not. They've actually gotten worse. But look at this view. Tonight's dinner is pollo en pieces, or muslo di pollo fresco. Imagine that. I prefer my chickens like I like my women. I prefer thighs over breasts, but I'll eat both. Can we just take a minute to appreciate the sky burning? And then that really cool looking mountain over there. This one over here, there's like sand dunes on there. You can't see them from here, but it's like sand dunes. And today when the wind was really kicking, you could see the sand blowing around. It was pretty neat. On the flip side though, look at them birds, boy. There you go. Fried chicken skin. It tastes good if you're into that sort of thing. If not, then you won't like it. I have a feeling you'd like this teriyaki noodle bowl though, with the grilled onions and then the chicken and boy. As I sit here listening to the wind howl and just complete silence, I can't help but to wonder, like, what did people used to do, man? Like, with no TVs, no, I guess books, but such a weird world we live in now, man. Just have to be entertained all the time. And we're used to it. It's wild. The wind has now gone from gusting occasionally to pretty much non-stop gusts. This is why you would never catch me in a rooftop tent. Well, one of the reasons. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning and the wind is just relentless. It has not given up. This is, I'd probably say it's the strongest wind I've ever been in. Good morning. Man, I finally got to sleep, except for it was like 4 o'clock in the morning. As you can tell, the wind, it's died down a little bit, but it ain't died down much. Y'all remember that bird that was hanging around last night, wanted some fish, but I ain't had no fish for him? Some bitch come along and shit right on my damn back tailgate and bumper. Man, look at this coyote. Chilling. Bye-bye, Mexico. Y'all take care now, you hear? Damn. 61 degrees, and with that wind, it's got your boy just a little bit chilly. I might have to throw on a damn shirt. I said, damn, that's crazy. I really don't see the infatuation with these things right here. These Westies, Westphalias, whatever it is. Not only are they terribly slow, most of them can't go over about 50, 55, maybe 60 miles an hour, but they're also terribly unreliable. They're always breaking down and shit like that. They're small, compact, and you can, the roof lifts up, so I get that, but I'll be honest, man, I'd rather just have like a Chevy Astro, I think. San Felipe is a madhouse. Everybody's leaving from the races, and everywhere is just jam-packed full of people. Well, I met my homie here in San Felipe. Just as soon as we get out, we're almost hit by somebody in a high-speed chase.
Welcome to Mexico.
All right, got to stop and meet Chad for a quick lunch in San Felipe. Chad's in town for the San Felipe 250. He's doing some co-driving and race chasing with those guys, so pretty cool. You'll have to go over to his channel, Living the Van Life, to see his documentation of the whole race and everything, but I'm pretty sure it's a cool story. He puts on a great cinematic storytelling channel over there. So yeah, go check it out. Gracias por visitar San Felipe. You're welcome. That is the Mexico-U.S. border, though, right there. The big old fence in front of me. There is a bit of a line, but it seems to be moving pretty quickly, so hopefully we can get on past here. Regardless of your political stance or any of that stuff, it's so crazy to me that, you know, just because I was born on one side of this fence and others were not born on this side of the fence, I have free reign to go over there, but not free reign over here. They have free reign over here, but not free reign over there. It's so crazy to me. Borders are one of the wildest things about our societies.
You move your sunglasses. Okay. William?
Yep.
Anything to declare today?
What's that?
Anything to declare?
No.
True vegetables need alcohol.
No.
Where are you going today?
Yuma.
That's where you live in Yuma?
No.
What, the place from where? The plates.
Oh, Tennessee.
Tennessee?
Yeah. Quick and fast, baby. We back in America. The iPhone storage got full while he went through all those little questions, but basically he was asking where I was, how long I was in Mexico, where I was going back to. Did I have any fruit or alcohol to declare, and anything else like that. So yeah, we're good to go now. Oh, then he also asked me what I did for a living, which that's always a tricky one. Live, bud. What do you do? So if you guys recall, prior to my trip down to Baja, I had some treasures in Apple that, well, the Mexican government would not be real pleased to have in their country. And, well, I could have got a storage unit, but that shit's way too expensive. So I buried it in the middle of the desert. Now it's time to go on a treasure hunt. Those two red dots is where I gotta go. The reason there's two is because, well, I forgot I had some other things in here after I'd already buried the initial set. So let's go get the side set first. Alright, so if my memory serves me correct, I should be able to find it somewhere right in here. Golden, baby. Treasure number one, found. I know you guys are thinking that was incredibly shallow. Well, first and foremost, that was a lot shallower than where it was originally hidden, so they must have had some rain or something, and it looks like it based on what the ground looks. The next set is a lot deeper. All right, now let's go find the main treasure. So it has definitely rained since I was here last, because this is way deeper than it was before. Success. Now let's see if I can't go find Apple. All right, there you are. Hell yeah. Looks like I'm gonna need some cleaning and oiling. All right, well, I found all my buried treasures. More importantly, I found Apple after going off into the desert looking for said buried treasures. And I think that brings an end to an epic trip to Baja Mexico. A special thank you to each and every one of the followers that contributed to the Beer, Food, Fuel Fund. If you guys don't know about that, that is a fund where you can donate any amount that you wish, and that just helps with fuel and beer, more importantly, and food and, you know, epic things along the way. So I really appreciate it a lot. All the links are down in the description. They're all in my bio for Instagram. Every little bit helps, and a little bit goes a long way, so I really appreciate it a lot. And special thank you to each and every one of you guys that donated to it. It really helped out this trip. I also want to say special thank you to the partners that made this trip possible. Baja Bound Insurance, Overland Uncharted for leading me along the way and pushing me to get out here. Also, Christy, aka The Handler, aka La Jefa, and Mama Dukes. I really appreciate you guys and all the support that you give me. I love you a lot. I hope that you guys liked this video. If you did, make sure that you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you want to see more adventures like it. And until next time, you guys keep hanging in there like a hair on a biscuit. And remember, you can be happy if you've a mind to. Peace, y'all. Little rocks. Damn. All right. See you guys next time. Appreciate you following along. Peace.